Hello, my name's Chloe Kennedy and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a tarot card reading from the Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck. It is a very beautiful set. I will show you a few of the cards off the top. So this is one. This is like Aleister Crowley's signature sigil that he uses. And this one is the Ordo Templi Orientis. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And it does say the tarot is a pictorial representation of the forces of nature as conceived by the ancients according to conventional symbolism. At first sight, one would suppose this arrangement to be arbitrary, but it is not. It is necessitated by the structure of the universe, and in particular of the solar system as symbolized by the Holy Kabbalah. And that was written by Aleister Crowley, and it's just saying his Ordo Templi Orientis International Headquarters are in Austin, Texas, and it does have one of the order sigils up here at the top. So this is pretty cool. I think it's pretty unique, interesting. Alright, so for today, I wasn't too sure about what I should be asking the cards for, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm making a mess here. So I'm pondering in my confused thoughts. My cards are going everywhere. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one card for the health of the United States, and then I'll pull a few clarifying cards. So let's all just focus on the energies of the United States and how our health's going to be and everything like that. I already had one jump out. I'm definitely going to look at it and see once I'm done shuffling what that is. So again, we're looking at the health of the United States and where we're going to be seeing our health going here in the next, I don't know, week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. Alright, so this one did pull up as the Queen of Swords. I'm just going to go ahead and look at this one. So, the first one was the Queen of Cups. We'll look at that one. And then we did get the Queen of Swords, Princess of Cups, and then the Ten of Wands. So, let's see, Queen of Cups. So I'll go ahead and move these out of the way for a moment so we can focus on this card. And this did come in reversed for me. To you guys, this looks the right way, but it does come up like this. It's very pretty. It looks like there's lots of water going on. There's a little crane over here. It looks like a little snail shell. Chalice that the queen is holding. It looks like that's like what her cup is. There's some lotuses floating off by the water on some lily pads. There's also a reflection of the snail shell chalice in the water reflecting back from, looks like, what the queen's psyche is. I'm not sure if that's exactly correct. That's at least how I feel about this. And let's just hear what the book has to say, or what Aleister Crowley has to say. You speak with the voice of the heart. Open up like the surface of the water and close. Close just like everything that is located below the surface of the water. Closure and openness of the soul at the same time are conditions of an intact mental life. They ensure that you neither melt nor harden. No other figure of the tarot embodies so much preciousness of feeling as this figure. Practice mentally simultaneously opening up and differentiating. Whenever this succeeds, tune in your feelings. Then you're in good spirits and talking as a person with a single voice. For matters dealing with love with this card, you know a lot of the secrets of life and feel deeply. Your great sensitivity gives you rich and striking images, premonitions, and visions. You have a strong antenna, so listen to the unconscious, the internal human, and the stirrings of the soul. You can love wholeheartedly and share deep feelings. So maybe in this time in the United States we're supposed to share all of our feelings with each other, and we're supposed to be talking about how to make everyone happy in the United States, and possibly even the world. We have to talk about everyone's feelings, because, some people might be feeling scared right now, and some people might still be feeling happy because they're working, and some people might not be, or they might be feeling angry because they're upset that this would happen, that maybe another country would try to do something like this if that was the case. So yeah. And the next section is happiness. If you are at peace with yourself, you will receive great power and a fertile imagination from that. So you can bring a deep, beautiful, and fulfilling life to reality. With happy surprises, heartfelt joy, and newly experienced bliss over and over again, you have a knack for relationships, a spiritual talent, and an experienced worldly wisdom. You defrost many an icy soul with your loving nature. Success. Make decisions with the voice of the heart. Check the feelings of everyone involved. Represent your standpoint clearly. So yeah, that's kind of a cool card. I'm just going to go ahead and put this off to the side over here. And we're going to look at the first clarifying card. Now this one is not reversed. It came out the way it was supposed to. Well, I mean, they all come out the way they're supposed to, but it came out, not reversed. So I'll just turn it around for you for a moment so you guys can see this. It's also a very pretty card. I love the artwork on these cards. So it looks like this queen is drifting in on the clouds. When I personally think of clouds, I would also think of air signs, which also kind of go with emotions. They're kind of emotional, but also not emotional. They're emotional when they have to be emotional, or maybe when they have to attack or stand up for someone, things like that. Clouds, in my opinion, can also stand for maybe the conscious or subconscious, and you kind of see behind her there's the mirrors, which almost represent that in a way, and there's also another reflection behind, which is reflecting another person behind the mirror. So I kind of feel like that's even more so, but it's very sharp for sure. because there's sharp glass triangles. It's a sharp mirror. Alright, so I'm just going to leave that upside down for you guys to look at while I am reading this. So this is the Queen of Swords. You display your profile through clarity and openness. 3 faces are seen in the picture: the past, present, and future. The ID, ego, and superego. Take off, for both yourself and others, the mask of false pride. Look behind the scenes of alleged constraints and supposed impasses. Whatever happens, there is, at least, one alternative. Develop your judgment. Be careful in your evaluations and loving in your judgments. It lies within the power of the sword to develop and refine your intellectual capacities. It also includes finding words for experiences for which speechlessness prevailed up until now. So maybe that's kind of meaning, especially the speechlessness. You know, maybe a lot of people have been quiet about what's been going on in the United States and the health of the people in the United States, especially all the people. And a lot of people have been quiet about it. A lot of people have been even silenced about it. So maybe this is the time to speak up, you know. So this is what it says for love. You're a strong individual personality with great power and a keen sense of justice. You insist on clarity consistently and persistently. You fight oppression and dependency. You safeguard your freedom and that of others. So I do feel like this is definitely something that can kind of be going on with the health of the United States, especially when it's talking about oppression and the speechlessness and the dependency on the government. Kind of sucks, especially when they don't have your back, when they are the first ones to oppress you. So then you depend on your community, and the community is already struggling, and the community can't get help from the government because they're also oppressing other people in your community. So it's just really hard. So the next one is happiness. Above the clouds, freedom must be boundless. And that's a quote by Reinhard May. The immensity of experience is frightening. You know this fear and overcome it by living it. This gives you a great ability to engage in situations and events, and to be fully present in them at all times. You judge people by your experiences in the situation, not according to prejudices or common concepts, and you can trust your judgment. Success. Look behind the scenes. Risk is free, independent judgment. You have nothing to lose except some of your prejudices. Set aside any obligations which hinder you. Show your face. Alright, so that's a good one. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And this one was the Princess of Cups. Now this card is super, super pretty. It does have, I almost want to say it's a lotus, but it's not a lotus for sure. It's some other type of flower, but it's this lady holding this shell with a turtle in it. But the turtle has an odd shell. The shell almost looks like a snail shell and not a turtle shell. And then there is a fish flowing in the background, so this, and it does look like water as well, and a swan floating at the top. So it's definitely like a water card, at least in my opinion. There could be some air in there because there is a bird as well, but birds are both water and air. And then the turtle is very earthy vibes, very primordial water type vibes coming from this card, if that makes any sense to you guys. And there's also a bunch of jewels on the very bottom of the lady's dress or robe. I do believe it's a robe. Yeah, it's a very pretty card. I'll leave that there for you guys to look at. So, the Princess of Cups. A card full of beauty and lightness. A wonderful card for a summary of cheerfulness all year round. Through your feelings you can discover innovations. You understand those living within the water worlds, such as the fish and the swan, representing the richness and reach of the treasures of the soul. The crystals on the robe of the figure in the picture symbolize the preciousness of spiritual life. They also warn of hardening and the fixations of emotions. Love. You are a light-hearted and serious personality, helpful and uplifting while also being independent and anonymous. You regard the life of the emotions and the unconscious thoughtfully, playfully, and curiously, as well as reservedly. If that does not lead to a state of indecision, you have a great talent to resolve internal problems without drowning in them. So maybe this one is kind of going back to this card again a little as well, because you had to face your emotions, talk about it, stop being quiet about it, get it out there. And then this one is saying, don't get stuck in those emotions. You still have to move forward. You can still feel those emotions. You can still acknowledge those emotions, but don't get stuck in those emotions. And those emotions can help you heal, help us heal as a whole country. And maybe also in those emotions you can figure out how to resolve the issues that we're having, but we can't just stay stuck in the emotions and stay stuck in that feedback loop, that cycle of going back and forth to the same emotions, things not getting handled correctly. Emotions have to be validated, and then you have to move on from it. Happiness. With empathy, understanding, and meditation, you will discover new things and gain important insights. This is a source of enlightened vitality for yourself. And for others, you can be an important aid in the psychic and spiritual area. With your contemplative and lively manner, you bolster up yourself and others. And I mean, that does kind of go with the United States. I mean, the United States were founded on separating from the church and not following the church, as well as Masonic type of symbolism and spirituality. That wasn't the norm. The United States wasn't built on the norm. It wasn't built around the church. It was built on the exact opposite. So maybe as a country you have to embrace it more. I don't know. You can take that as you will. Success. Often we think that success must come first and then life will finally become easy and pleasant. However, this card suggests that it occurs in an inverse way. Finally, make your life easy and pleasant. Provide relief when it comes to important personal needs and or fears. Then the desired success will also adjust to fit your life. So yeah, just being honest, and voicing up, recognizing your emotions, not being speechless, speaking up about it, speaking up about your fears, our country's fears, and what our country needs, the personal needs of everyone in the country, and then hopefully we can all get on the same page and resolve that. Just have to be honest. Maybe it goes back to this one as well, taking off the mask. Just take off the mask, honesty, so we can let things go. This last card is the Ten of Wands. It is the oppression card. Very sad. Again, oppression's popping up like it did in this card as well. And a little bit in this one. But mostly in the Queen of Swords, it was the oppression. Alright, so the Ten of Wands. Great tasks and great solutions. Apply not many, but all energies. These should not, insofar as possible, block each other and should not run side by side without contact. Each person and each situation has its own logic and its own law, and in a sense its own will. Your success or failure depends now entirely on whether your own will and the will of the other, the will of another person or the will of a certain facts, harmonize or not. If you have the feeling that they have charged you too much or got you into a bind, then your momentary desire is to transverse the will of the other. Find out where your willpower is too weak and increase your commitment to 100% at these points. But where you are trying to achieve more by force or self-denial, give up this futile effort, let go, and throw the ballast overboard. Only when you present your undivided devotion to people, events, or life issues, you will understand them, each according to their own logic. Love. Commit all your energies. Let 100 flowers bloom. Happiness. Make sure not to block your energy. If you realize that you have overexerted yourself, take a break. Success. Do not give up until you have actually exhausted your significant options. So yeah, I think that was a really good last card. It definitely gave me chills reading that. I could not agree more with this card personally, this card reading. Set it up here for a moment for you guys so you can enjoy this, look at this. And I have been thinking about, doing personal readings for people. So if you do want to have a personal reading done, go ahead and drop your question down in the comments below. You can message me, and I will try to get that reading out to you, and maybe give you some insight to what's going on in your life. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this tarot card reading with Chloe Kennedy. And I hope you come back and enjoy more with me. All right, have a good night, guys.